All right, it's 6:59. Are you ready, Lori?
Gotcha.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming out tonight. Please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Lynn, can you call roll?
Mrs. Gusky. Here. Mr. Burke.
Yep.
Mr. Ham.
Yep.
Mr. Grover.
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan.
Here.
Ms. Leslie. Here. Mrs. Vandermark.
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes of our regular meeting on November 19th, 2025?
Make that motion. I'll second it.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any questions or comments from anyone? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Any citizen comments? I'm going to switch one of these around. I'm going to move 8 up to number 3, and then we'll push everything down. So we'll do budget modifications. We spoke about these in work session. I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Paying our lighting district and then giving our highway the ability to grab some more salt since this weather seems to not be cooperating and they don't know it's still fall. Any questions or comments on the budget transfers and modifications from anyone? Okay, with that being said, can I get a motion to approve the budget transfers?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Charity, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion passes. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn regular session and go into public hearing on local law E2025 moratorium on battery storage facilities?
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Mike. Any questions or comments? We are now in public hearing. So at our last board meeting, we had reviewed the board resolution. Why do I have so many copies of this?
I know.
For a 12-month moratorium on battery energy storage systems. And we explained at our last meeting, it's basically because this is a thing that's coming around and we have nothing in our code to review it, oversight of it, or even understand what it means. So I think it's in the town's best interest that we kind of put a moratorium on it and work through establishing a code or law for this specifically. I think I mentioned, Bob, we probably should
Do a subcommittee?
do a subcommittee and maybe grab someone from planning to assist.
I would strongly
Okay.
recommend that.
So with that being said, Jeff, did I miss anything or did that kind of cover it?
I think that covers it.
Okay, so with that being said, is there anyone in our audience who would like to speak against or in favor of this moratorium? I should address you all. Al, do you have anything to say? Mary Ann, do you have anything to say?
You're making a good move.
Okay, I'll ask again. Anyone willing to speak in favor or against the moratorium? Yes, sir. So if you could go up to the microphone and just state your name and your address, I would love to hear what you have to say.
Set up for some tall people.
It's
My name is Paul Capicelli,
Oh, okay.
and my address where I have an interest in this topic is I have property at 7240 O'Brien Road in the town.
Okay.
And I don't have a for or against, I just want to better understand the town's position on these, because my interest as the owner of this, which is phase 20A of the Village Green Plan Unit development that's approved back some 40 or 50 years ago. And it's still remaining, and I'm anxious to get it developed. And my purpose and interest in knowing more about this is I would like to finish this planned unit development and get that last phase developed in some manner. The problem is I have no water or sewer access at that site, and I've been struggling with trying to figure out what to do. I've done studies for self-service storage, and my studies have come back that the area is saturated in those, because I figured I could possibly do that without water. So the end result is, out of the clear blue, back a few months ago, I got several solicitations on battery storage. And I found it fascinating after digging into it and trying to understand exactly what it's all about, and found that it's a, you know, pretty nice community benefit in the fact that it takes our power off the grid during low times, and you know, in the lower periods when the demand is low, stores the energy, and then at peak periods when energy is scarce, it puts it back on the grid, and it helps to stabilize that flow and in effect bring down the cost for electricity for the community. So they're called community storage installations for, you know, for the benefit of the local community. So I was just interested to hear more. I know the code, is being updated in 2026. I went online, read about that, and all of it sounds good for New York State, the reasons why, and so on. And that it's all part of the state. They're promoting these battery storage because it's clean energy, and it's in keeping with their philosophy on going greener and so on. So I just, I didn't know where to go from here as far as what this means for being able to plan on this site, to be able to move forward. And that's basically why I'm here. I'm all for a better understanding what it means for the town and how to implement it. I just wanted to get a better feeling of that. It's not to kill the idea or anything like that, I hope, but to just be able to implement it into our code in a beneficial manner and so on. Because I just have no use for that land. I can't find anything to put on it because.
I know, that must be frustrating.
Yeah, I just have no water, no sewer, and it sits high. That's one of the reasons why I can't get water there. It's at a 500-foot elevation, and Aqua came back and said anything above, it was 460, we can't serve 460.
So is the cell tower on your property?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, it's a lease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
So if I could respond,
Sure.
I don't know anything about this, which is why I want to take a breath and figure it out and understand and educate myself. We did this a couple of years ago with solar farms. Solar started coming around, didn't know anything about it. I think we had a little paragraph in our code about solar farms and realized we needed to do a more in-depth study on it and what would benefit the town, what areas of it won't, and make sure that's put in our code. And I think we just want to implement the same type of process here. We don't have anything in our code about this, so we need to put something in the code.
Right.
And what part of it would benefit the town and what part won't, and make sure that's clear in our zoning laws going forward. So this is not an effort to kibosh it, it's just an effort to add something to our code that's best for our town and our residents.
Okay.
And wherever that lands, I don't know, because I don't know the first thing about this.
Yeah, okay.
And so unfortunately, I understand the position you're in, whether you want to do something with that land. I think we did 12 months with solar, and I even think we extended that additional 6 months because it was a very long process. I'm not saying that's going to happen here. I just want to give you expectations of timing. Have you had an opportunity to talk to our planning board about the land to see what other things might be in the code that maybe could be allowable on that land?
On what else could be allowed on that land? Not in regard to that. I think being a PUD, I'm pretty flexible. It's just, I don't know of anything that doesn't need water and sewer.
Right.
That's the problem.
Can I ask you how large?
The cell tower.
How large is the parcel?
It's a 13-acre parcel.
13 acres, okay.
But the battery storage that's being proposed is like only 30,000 square feet. It's less than 10% of the land because it doesn't take up much space at all. And of course, the parcel itself has a limited amount of developable area because it has some hills to it. I mean, it's probably got about 5 or 6 acres that's flat out of the 13. But I just can't come up with any.
Can you do like regular storage?
Well, that's the problem. We did a study. We hired someone to do a study on storage, and it seemed like storage was pretty well saturated in the market. We've got them all over the place, all around us.
Well, I'm not suggesting this, but I did need a storage unit and I called Arrow and they had a waiting list for that specific
I was just gonna
size.
say, I think storage is still really hard to get. around
I
here.
do.
That's what I'm hearing, yep.
Just conventional?
Conventional storage, like can I put my car someplace this winter? We don't have anything right now. I'm looking for some place to empty my apartment out and store stuff for 6 months. But she's saying there's waiting lists and stuff. I know friends of mine that are trying to get units and they're waiting right now.
And obviously, if your rates are comparable, they're gonna call you, because when I needed the storage unit, I called around and found the cheapest one. So if you were even cheaper, they're gonna come to you.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, with storage, I mean, at some point you gotta clean those. I don't know if you can clean them without water, but I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so I guess just suggestions.
Yeah, I know, I appreciate that. I just, if they're looking into this, I'm sure you'll come across the same stuff, the benefits of the battery storage and the safety features that are built in. I was very impressed with all of that. And I hope they can come to.
But that concept wouldn't need sewer or water?
No, doesn't need anything. And it's good, they have their own built-in fire suppression systems in case of any kind of fire, but their track record on them is pretty incredible, less than 1%. So, in any event, okay, I guess I need to be able to tell these people there's no point in them pursuing this pending any kind of, designation of where these will be placed in a year or so, whatever it is. We just have to wait till that happens
Yes.
in the district. How will I keep up on the progress on this? And if there's any,
Well, I mean, do you ever go to our website? Because, I mean,
I can.
the board agendas are up there, the board minutes are up there, or even if you wanted to call the town clerk and ask about it, she can search the records if she doesn't know it off the top of her head, when it was, if it's been. So we're gonna hopefully implement this tonight, so it'll be another year, so.
but between now and then, I hear you're gonna form a subcommittee to
Yes.
do the study, get a
Yes.
planning board member on that, which is wonderful, and then they'll have regular meetings and updates, I imagine, on.
We'll probably have the updates here as to
Yep.
what's going on, what's the status, just kind of timeline, if it's gonna change, if we need more time. I don't anticipate we would enact any code before the 12 months. So I would say a year is probably a good timing.
Okay, very good.
It's just, I don't know anything about it. And to get the committees together, when we did solar, I think we did once a month or twice a month, just to work around everyone's busy schedule. So it didn't really speed up the process much, because you could only really meet once or twice a month. So I think 12 months is probably a good timeline to get that committee together and get the information we need together.
Okay. And how did solar end up? A designation in industrial zone? Is that where solar ended up? Or?
So there wasn't a designation for it. What we really wanted to deep dive in is where we want solar in the town, how far back on road frontage, what type of soil we would allow it in, how many acres we would allow it. So it was nuts to bolts with solar, because we didn't have a really good code at all to begin with. So we ended up identifying, like, I think 2 or 3 tiers of different solar, whether it was a high megawatts, a low, or a residential kind of add-on. So it was a really long process. I learned a lot about solar.
And it's in the code now?
It's in the code. I want to say we adopted it in 23 or 24.
And it's not restricted to any particular zone?
I don't think so. Jason, do you know off the top of your head?
It's allowed in both of our industrial zones and the agricultural areas, but it is not allowed in the Onondaga County Consolidated Sewer District.
On Van Buren Road? Or anywhere?
Anywhere in the town that's in the sewer.
So that's interesting, because O'Brien would be within the CSD.
Correct.
And I don't know if the battery storage would be a comparable issue. It's too hard to say, again, with the whole need for review.
Well,
but-
Ryan Road is in the sewer district, but I don't have sewer.
You're in the county
Correct.
sewer district.
Yeah, you're within,
But I don't have sewer to the site.
right, it's a
If you
district.
develop the site, you'll have sewer to it.
Pardon me?
You have the two accesses off of Blanchard and Hosmer that you could run sewer down to the existing gravity sewer in the upper knolls.
Not if the homes are built on those, so.
If you use them for access, well, you could have an easement through those they're narrow lots for sure.
Yeah, but then that would preclude me being able to build a home on either one of those. Right?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure the exact size of
Because
those.
once
thought
the houses are built on and deeded to someone else, my parcel's accessible only from O'Brien Road where there is no sewer.
That's correct.
Right.
But, well, I don't need to get into
Right.
details, but
I mean,
I thought you
no,
had 60
it's-
foot right of ways to the top of the hill, one off of Blanchard and one off of Hosmer.
Yeah, so
But,
long
well,
as-
those are 90 foot building lots?
Yes, yeah,
okay.
yeah, so long as, I
think,
own them, but
I think
don't
some
wanna
of your
keep
neighbors
that-
are-
I'm getting older, I don't wanna
Over.
keep this land, I gotta get rid of it. I gotta do something with it, so I was planning on probably putting homes on those and selling those off, so does that take by O'Brien, once those are sold and homes are on them, then I'm outside the district, right? If I don't get sewer.
You are in the Seneca Sewer District, but you are also in the Onondaga County
But
Consolidated Sewer District.
even without access to sewer?
It's a boundary of where sewers can go in Onondaga County versus where they already are. So there's certain places in like rural Van Buren where it's not within the district, which means the county will never authorize sewers there. Where you're talking about where your parcel is within the district and could have sewers. But I mean, as far as the logistics of the projects and how you get that there, whatever, but you're within the sanitary district so that you could have sewer access and
And
tie
can I
in.
ask, why is that solar's not allowed inside the sewer district?
For potential development.
Oh, because you want to preserve the sewer district for other types of
Residential,
development?
commercial, industrial, yeah, versus
Yeah.
something that's not vacant.
Okay. Okay, good enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Anyone else wishing to speak, either in favor or against?
Or neutral.
Oh, hello, sir, please go up to the microphone.
Truly.
Better late than never, right? Andrew Bowes, 116 Hunter Drive, Baldwinsville. How many megawatts or kilowatts were you proposing?
Oh, I-
Heard?
Whatever, the power company that was, or the energy company, I'm not sure what it was. It was six units, I think it was.
Yeah, so it's complicated enough to figure out the size of these units. Fire code, even New York State is struggling with the fire codes on these things. I believe that it can be done properly. I believe in science. I think we can figure out a way to do things safely. But understanding the basic core concepts of how much energy is being stored and the dangerousness of that in itself and how to contain those fires is extremely important. Moss's Landing out there in California, the largest solar plant or battery plant in the world, caught on fire, burned. I got to see it because my father lives in San Jose and it's right next to Monterey Bay. So we were visiting Monterey Bay. It was amazing how big this plant was. And the uncontrolled aspect of the fire, not to be a fear-mongering, because not all battery storage projects can catch fire. A battery storage project can be a big box of sand that just gets hot. And that energy transfer acts like a battery. So there's lots of different kinds of technology that can be considered battery. And I believe that it can be done throughout the community as well. And I think the board is really sharp in taking the opportunity to spend a little time and get well versed in it so that the community benefits can be maximized with the safety of the community. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, can I get a motion to close public hearing and go back into regular town board meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So we are back in regular town board meeting. So the goal here is to take action on local law E2025 for a 12-month moratorium on battery energy storage systems. So what we're gonna do is Lynn's gonna call roll and either yes or no for the moratorium. Lynn, can you go?
Do you want somebody to move that?
Oh, can I get a motion? Yes.
I'll move that.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Jen, seconded by Darcy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait,
Roll.
sorry, you're doing a roll.
Mrs. Gusky?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Hans?
Yes.
Mr. Grover?
Yes.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Leslie?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes. Okay, motion passes. We are officially in moratorium for battery storage, battery energy storage systems. And Mr. Capicelli, feel free to call myself or the town clerk for updates during 2026, and if you have any as well, Mr. Bose.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for coming. Okay, I'm gonna go to 4, because Mr. Sellers is here tonight. Can I get a motion to appoint Harvey Sellers as Veterans Outreach Coordinator effective November 17th, 2025, at a rate of $17 an hour, not to exceed 15 hours per week?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Mike. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Sellers a couple weeks ago for the first time, and I'm so excited at how excited he is to take over this role. I want to just first extend a gratitude and a thank you to Jim Reynolds, who originated this position earlier in January, and he had done a wonderful job. Unfortunately, his life is taking a different direction, and he's going to take a full-time job, so we wish him well. But he has handed the reign over to Mr. Sellers, and we're happy he's here. I already have a monthly report from him because he's been busy. Do you want to just kind of come up and just tell us a little bit about yourself so the board can get a feel for who you are and what your goals are for this role?
My name's Harvey Sellers. I'm a United States Navy veteran. I spent 6 years in the Navy, 4 years on board a submarine. I was part of I'm a bubblehead, as they call me, and qualified submarines, traveled the Mediterranean, around South America, got a chance to go to Norway. Nuclear power school, and I was a mechanic in the steam engine room, maintaining the steam equipment, the turbines and all that, making electricity for the boat and pushing it through the water. 30 years of commercial nuclear power. I started as a radiation protection technician, worked my way up through to a supervisor in that position, and then I moved over into work management. We scheduled and maintained the proper safety factors for all the work in a work week. You didn't want to take too many safety systems out because the NRC doesn't like that very much, and they'll snatch your keys in a heartbeat. So that was an interesting career. It kept me very busy for 34 years. 4 years I was a road technician before I took the job up at 9 Mile Point. And now I'm retired and looking for something to do. So I figured, hey, there's a need out there for helping vets. A real good friend of mine over in the town of Salina is doing it there. And he talked with me and told me what to and what for and why. And I said, yeah, I'm very interested in doing that. So I appreciate it. And the monthly reports will continue. And I believe it's in the agreement that that's something I'll supply the town supervisor and the board with. And looking forward to getting out there and getting the community involved in different aspects. And we have a breakfast scheduled for tomorrow for local veterans. And that's down at the diner at the, where's the market down there?
The regional market?
Regional market.
Yeah.
Market diner.
Awesome.
All right.
So I'm excited about the monthly reports. This is wonderful. You have been so busy. And I know that we connected you with Renee out at Canton Woods, so you're going to schedule something out there to...
I have a 10 o'clock meeting with her tomorrow.
Oh, great. Great. And I know that we also talked, you're going to work a little more closely with the county on how you both can kind of complement each other in this process, and I think that's really important.
Yep, I got that contact through Mike Carter.
Through Mike, yep.
And we're working for that. I also have phone calls into Red Mill Manor and over in Radisson, there's a senior living center over there.
Yes.
I think there's 4 or 5 more, but I want to see how this goes first before I try to take on all 7 of them.
Great.
So,
Does anyone have any questions for Harvey?
I'd just like to welcome you and say we have a common friend who highly recommended you, Mr. Ken Engelman. And he said if you bring him on, tell him I said hello
I will do
and
that.
congratulate you.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor from Jenny, seconded by Mike, to appoint Mr. Sellers. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Harvey, I'm gonna email the messenger our photos and your article tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure today was official. I'll send it tomorrow. I'll copy you on it, so hopefully we'll see that in the messenger in the next couple days.
Awesome.
I did check with Lynn's deputy clerk about the cards. She thinks 2 weeks. She ordered them
Okay,
last week or Monday,
Okay.
but they're ordered.
I'll just take more of what's left over and
Cross his name out.
I'll make do.
Okay, super. Thank you so much for coming tonight as well.
No problem.
Okay, I'm gonna bump number 8 up here so Al is not stuck here waiting all day for us to get to him. Can I get a motion to introduce local law F2025 zone change from R40 to PUD for tax map number 036-.03-21.0?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Roger, seconded by Mike. We're gonna let Al do his presentation before we vote on it, and so the floor is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for having me in. I appreciate you accommodating us on a quick turnaround from last week's planning board meeting. So you guys have seen this parcel before, 12.9 acres, corner of Downer Street Road and Comaine Road. Previously, this was in front of you for an R15 zone change. You adopted a local law to allow PUD zoning down to 10 acres and recommended that the applicant come back with a plan for PUD zoning, which we've done here. The project now includes 21 lots. Smallest lot is 12.
Can I have you step over there so
Sure.
Lori can see maybe a little bit of what you're doing? Can you see it at all?
Yeah, that makes it better, thanks.
Better? Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
So 21 lots. It is a cul-de-sac layout. It meets New York State Fire Code in that you can have up to 30 homes with a single access point, so we don't need a second connection point on the Downer Street Road. Smallest lot is 12,900 square feet. The shallowest depth is 124 square feet, 124 foot, and it's the line is between 9 and 10. That is a little bit less than what the planning board initially wanted to see, and it's a direct result of the geometry required for the cul-de-sac. With that being said, the 124-foot lots are very comparable to many of the other lots in the older sections of Harbor Heights, especially when you consider, when you look at the very old section of Harbor Heights, the deeds are written to the center line of the road, and they're 150-foot lot depth. So those lots are about 120 foot in depth when you take out the 30-foot right-of-way. So with that being said, the project has been developed with 2 separate stormwater management areas to keep to balance the flow coming off the site to what it currently is. Jason has reviewed our preliminary drainage report, and we do meet the requirements for runoff reduction and water quantity and water quality requirements in the New York State DEC speedies permit. The pond on the west side of the site discharges to the existing shallow swale along Comaine Road. The pond on the east side of the site discharges to what's an existing low spot swale that runs all the way to Crossgate, the culvert at Crossgate. The developer is more than willing to work with the town if the town wants to. That swale right now currently is not in an easement. Not sure why those parcels were never brought into the drainage district, but the developer is willing to improve that area to, you know, potentially help those homeowners dry out their backyards a little bit. With that being said, you know, that's something Jason, I know, was gonna reach out to those homeowners on and see if they were interested in accommodating a drainage easement and being part of the drainage district.
Can I ask you to pause for a second?
Sure.
Because I think Jason's out talking to Mr. Capicelli, and I'd like.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, here he comes, okay. We bumped Al up so he didn't have to sit, but I'd like you to be present just to make sure you can agree or decipher anything that he's
Absolutely.
sharing with us. Darcy, did you have something?
I just want to understand, so there's potential for you to possibly mitigate some of the drainage on the existing homes that you back up to on the north side of the parcel, I guess?
Yeah, so actually all the parcels to the north all drain to the south. There's there's 3 lots here between our property, 4 lots, between our property and Southgate. Those parcels are not included in the current Harbor Heights drainage district. However, all the water from Harbor Heights for the lots north of our project do drain onto those lots. There is no formal established drainage easement. However, there is a drainage way, whether it be natural or what was done when the lots were developed, that flows to a culvert at Southgate that is existing. The area is quite overgrown. Quite being an understatement, quite honestly, it's a jungle back there. I'm sure it would improve those neighbors' properties to get them in the drainage district and get that swale cleaned up and have a defined drainage way all the way to the south.
This would be its own drainage district, or would it be added to the rest of?
You'd be adding these parcels into the.
There's an
Harbor Heights.
existing that they're not connecting to, so
Would it
this would
impact
connect.
the other homes on the other side of the,
Proposed.
On the north side? I don't know, I've never walked through their backyards. I can say that looking at it on Google Earth, it does appear that the edges of their back lawns are wet as well.
I think they said that they are.
Yeah, so yeah, there could be benefit to those homeowners as well.
I brought up the thought of getting a drainage easement across those properties to the board a couple months ago. It's an easy sell, like Al said, it's wet back there. And they're giving up, if we get a 25-foot drainage easement from them, they've got a setback off their backyard. They can't build in anyway. So it's unusable property to them. And anytime we're looking to help with drainage, people are pretty easily will give us an easement for that. It'd be in the town's interest, since there's already, like Al said, the people on Lanyard, their water drains to that as well, to be able to get in there and maintain that for our residents.
Especially with those lots being so long back there, I don't think it would affect that much.
Yeah, those being key lots, yes.
Yeah, those lots are like 300 feet deep. Yeah, they're not shallow lots. And right now, quite honestly, that land isn't, just because it is wet, because it's never been an established like drainage area. It's not usable land anyway,
Right.
quite honestly. There is an existing overhead power line that crosses the property. We've graded the site so that we aren't changing the grades underneath the power lines. Ultimately, as we go through the subdivision process, we are going to try to work with National Grid to bring those, put those lines underground when they run power into our project.
There wouldn't be any particular reason why they would be opposed to that, right?
They won't be opposed to it. The question is how much are they going to charge us to do that?
Yeah.
It's to
So
their,
the developer may be opposed depending on the price.
quite honestly, it's to their advantage anyway, because they're going to be running power into this development underground anyway, because this will be part of a URD.
Right.
So it's to their advantage
But
to,
how, if the power lines are there, do they go across Downer Street and connect up?
they do.
So
and
how do
then
you
there's
run
a
it
pole-
under,
There's a pole right here in the backyard of Lanyard too.
so how do you run it, keep it running? You just pick up a pole on Downer?
Yep, put a new
And
pole
go
on the
across.
opposite side of Downer Street, go down underground, tee off of the underground line here, run power back out to Comaine, and run power to the cul-de-sac, and then continue back to the existing pole property line and go back
That
aerial.
makes sense.
I will say, in the deed research that our surveyor did, he did not come up with an easement for that overhead power line. So it exists, but there doesn't appear to be an easement allowing it to be there. So,
That's hard to believe.
That's weird.
I think it happened a lot with old power lines, especially transmission lines like that in older neighborhoods that were single sole service power supplies. So
Got it.
it's, I don't know, Jason will tell you, I've seen it several times in my career. It's not unheard of.
And the old Harbor Heights was a pilot program for Niagara Mohawk at the time, and the power lines are in the backyards
Right,
along there.
saw that.
They abandoned that when they figured out how hard it is to get access through backyards to restore power.
How many people put sheds under the power lines? Yes.
But they're gonna have to go underground anyway.
But for our
that.
project, they will be underground. That's their.
So they shouldn't be opposed to the,
I wouldn't think so, and I would think that it's to their advantage to put it underground as part of our project. Because no matter what, they're gonna power we anticipate that they're gonna power our project off of this pole anyway. So, overhead power lines are susceptible to storm damage and a much greater expectancy than underground power lines. That's the bottom line. With that being said, we have gotten a will serve letter from Aqua. We have requested a sanitary sewer capacity assurance from WEP. WEP has been very slow on their capacity assurance letters. We applied back in September. I'll say this, in the past 2 years, I haven't gotten a capacity assurance letter in less than 9 months.
Oh, wow.
With that being said, this is 21 lots. The existing pump station at Harbor Heights when it was designed to handle the flow from the Whispering Oaks and the Seneca Estates neighborhood. That was they were gonna build a pump station at Whispering Oaks, bore under the river, tie into the Harbor Heights pump station. Ultimately, that didn't end up coming to fruition. So we know there is plenty of capacity in the Harbor Heights pump station to accommodate these 21 lots, being that Whispering Oaks is 48 lots and Seneca Estates is 91 lots, I believe. So we're confident that there's adequate capacity to handle what is really a minor flow from 21 anticipated homes. We've met all the other requirements for the PUD. At this time, we would just request that the board expedite scheduling a public hearing. As you know, the Indiana BAT area that we're in here really limits our tree clearing months. We need to have the site cleared and grubbed before April, or we have to wait another year. So we anticipate that we're gonna be at least a month with you guys and then 2 months with the planning board to get through the subdivision process. So that's the desire for the expediency and getting the public hearing scheduled and getting back in front of the
So you can cut the trees down, you just can't find the stumps, right?
Yes, we can. It costs money to cut the trees down. If we're not gonna get a zone change approval, I'm sure the developer wouldn't wanna go forward with
Oh, I gotcha.
the cost of
Okay.
cutting the trees.
That makes sense.
And we don't wanna disturb the neighbors either.
Right.
If this isn't gonna move forward, there's no need to go through that angst for you or for the property owner.
Gotcha. Jeff, did you have resolutions for us?
Yes, I passed them out.
Did I not, I didn't get one.
I thought I left one right on, I have one for you.
Maybe that's why I had so many of the other ones.
Here,
There you go. E,
Andrew and F.
E. Okay. Just the resolution is all you passed out, or did you pass out the?
Local law and.
That's what I thought, okay. Did you have an extra? Okay, thank you. So I just wanna talk about two things. We have to send this off for county comments.
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't planning board already send it to county?
Yes, they sent it to county or the original zone change for R15.
Has the
county
plan-
didn't have any comments on that.
Is the plan changed substantially that it would have to be?
Substantially, yes, it's changed.
Well, right, there's fewer lots.
And there's a cul-de-sac.
There's a pardon?
So now it's 21 parcels and all single-family homes?
Correct.
Yep.
It's my understanding we have to send it to county for county comments.
I'm not an attorney, I prefer to Jeff.
Jeff has given me the thumbs up.
My understanding is that it requires a county 239 approval.
Okay.
And if you don't get that, you lose jurisdiction to do anything, so we'll send it out.
Okay, so we'll need time for that.
Okay, you know, like I said, all we're asking for is to get the public hearing scheduled.
So we will schedule the public hearing.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
no
perfect.
problem with that.
Yeah.
And then I guess I just want to see what other questions board members have regarding the proposed plan. From my opinion, we didn't talk about the wetland buffer. Do you want to flip back to page 1 so we
Sure.
can identify that?
Yep.
And just, so the residents know, there is a wetland buffer.
Yep, so there's a
And-
wetland on the far eastern end of the property. The DEC recently issued a draft general permit for residential housing that allows or reduces the wetland setback to 24 feet or 25 feet for
From
residential.
100 feet.
From 100 for residential
Yeah.
properties, which is what we showed here. We have plenty of area on the 3 lots that are affected by the buffer to construct a home. Those are lots 11, 12, and 13. Our narrowest area that we have to work with is 73.6 feet from the right of way to the buffer. So there's more than enough space to construct a home on lot 12.
And we don't,
Planning on
Sorry.
applying for a deviation from the current law?
No, it's not, it's a general permit. So it is literally, you send in the application and you're granted the permit. There's no further review other than they review your wetland delineation report and say, yes, this boundary makes sense. And then you're given the 25-foot setback requirement rather than the 100-foot setback.
That's your back and forth with DEC, that's what you're talking about?
Correct.
Like to get a waiver or whatever?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
that's what the process is.
but Elle, you don't have any idea when the DEC is going to actually approve that amendment to that permit, correct?
I can say that they went through 1 round of public comments and came back relatively quickly with a revised draft that's open for public comments for 30 days. I anticipate that they're gonna move fairly quickly on this because this affects all homeowners that front lakes, the river. I mean, right now, any of the lots that are on the river aren't supposed to they aren't even supposed to service their septic systems if they're within 100 foot of the normal high water mark of the river. So they're gonna move relatively quickly on this because the law that they implemented is having very negative property effects on homeowners that own waterfront property.
Okay. And that process would just fall under planning board's purview?
Correct.
They're not gonna approve this until we hear from DEC and they'll make sure that happens.
I was gonna say, quite honestly, it actually even goes past planning board. It would go to the codes enforcement office when somebody comes in for a building permit. So the planning board can approve the subdivision, and quite honestly, if the permit doesn't go through for some reason, all that would really end up happening is we would lose lot 12, because lot 13 and lot 11 would still be buildable even with the 100-foot setback.
Okay.
So it would end up in a reduction of 1 lot. They would probably do a 3-for-2 split and just make the property line right down the middle of 12.
Got it. I did reach out to fire and our highway super regarding the cul-de-sac. I know that there's 2 cul-de-sacs existing in Harbor Heights. This one appears to be a little bit smaller than the existing, but I know that this is per code.
Yeah, this is
So I did just want to point that out. The conversation I had with our highway super is he'd rather see a hammerhead versus a cul-de-sac. What is your opinion on that?
So we'll work with whatever the highway superintendent prefers. There are some disadvantages with hammerheads and driveways connecting to them.
So I think, we
especially-
think there's disadvantages to the cul-de-sac. It's a lot more area for them to plow, a lot more drainage, a lot more maintenance than a hammerhead.
Totally understand. Let me explain what
Sure.
the disadvantages to the hammerhead are.
We saw them in Marion Meadows.
Yeah, the disadvantages with a hammerhead, and a one-way plow, especially if so say your hammerhead is shaped like this, and you have these 3 driveways coming into the hammerhead. Essentially, they're gonna dump all the snow from the entire hammerhead into those 3 driveways. So those homeowners are gonna be negatively affected by that configuration in a one-way plow. But we're willing, we'll work with it. If that's what the highway superintendent prefers, we have no problem with it.
Okay.
There are potential negative impacts for those property owners, however, that have driveways that connect to that hammerhead.
And then, again, sorry, my other thing is, initially, when we saw this plan earlier this year, it came out onto Route 31 Downer Street. I'm not a huge fan of the cul-de-sac, just because where it empties out on Comaine, where you come in, it's just so close to there, and then thinking forward, with any kids in that potential neighborhood, they're gonna end up having to go to Comaine to wait for a bus to get picked up. And in my mind, it's a recipe for disaster. Why are you guys switching to the cul-de-sac instead of emptying out onto Downer Street? And additionally, all that traffic is gonna empty out on Comaine. And I get that there's only 21 lots, but that's, at least 40 cars that are gonna be coming out that way.
Yeah, so we actually did a trip generation traffic study.
Yep.
Your peak exiting volume in the AM, as I recall, was 13 cars is estimated. This is a 200 foot from the edge of pavement to the center line of the proposed road. Exceeds 200 feet, which is what the DOT design standards recommend. We meet the requirements. Our experience, at least on the Lysander side of the river, is school buses do go down the cul-de-sacs and pick up kids.
They won't.
They won't
Not
fit,
in
it won't
Harbor
fit.
Heights.
Oh, okay.
It's a 40-foot bus.
Yeah.
And to make
Yeah,
that
no,
sharp,
I could say that the Lysander cul-de-sac geometry is very similar. And they do go down the cul-de-sacs, but that's
Yeah,
a-
every bus stop in Harbor Heights is at
intersections.
an intersection, so
Okay.
they won't go down, so again, now all these kids have to walk down, get picked up there. Now whether the bus comes north or south, there's a potential of either the bus getting back-ended or kids crossing over and a car coming in and.
Ultimately,
So I
it
guess my
results
question
in,
is, why did you take away the exit off
it
of?
results in one less lot.
Okay,
but it would square off the other lots to make them bigger.
Not really, no, because these are,
Making an L.
these are 90-foot lots, so you.
Well, I'm talking about the lots that are.
10 or 11 is what he's referring to.
Still only a
15,
90-foot.
15 and 14 would be more squared out. You could bring them straight down and make them bigger lots.
12 could be bigger.
12 could be bigger.
No, not really, because the way your code reads, you have to be perpendicular to your right-of-way line with your property line. So that's why you see this jog here. Your code wants to see the lot line perpendicular to the right-of-way line. So even if we came in with a curve here, I still gotta, from the setback back to the curve, I gotta have a straight line going in. And with a 60-foot right-of-way, you lose a lot. That's just the bottom line.
So just one lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still not seeing what you're saying because
I mean,
you're
he's
taking
gonna-
that teardrop out.
Yeah, but you still have to have a curve.
Yeah,
Right.
but I think the bottom line is it's losing one lot, and that's okay to me.
I don't
Right.
think it's okay to our applicant. We meet the town requirements.
Oh, I understand that.
The planning board found it acceptable. Like I said, we're willing to work with the highway superintendent if the hammerhead is preferred. We meet the DOT requirements for intersection distance. From a queuing standpoint, if you look at what your trip generation or your trip volumes are at the traffic counts listed on the DOT website at the intersection here, this 21 lot subdivision should have no negative impacts on traffic volume.
But could have safety issues. Potentially.
When was the traffic study done, Al?
So we just did it, so we didn't do a full traffic study. The planning board only asked for a trip generation because it is such a small number of lots. The traffic counts on Downer Street Road, I think were from fall of '24 is what the DOT trip counter, I think, shows right now.
So you just went on the DOT's website and pulled that info?
Correct. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Those were my only questions. Mike, do you have any?
No, I will say that I like the looks of this a little better than I've seen other things that were presented before, so I think we're headed in the right direction.
Roger?
You asked the questions that I was gonna ask.
Right.
I'm good. I'd like to see a road out on the Donner Street. I have issues with that intersection.
Jen, do you have anything?
I agree with what Roger is saying, and I also think that the speed reduction should be done on Downer Street, at least to 40, in this vicinity, because of the fact that school buses, people barrel through going on Cameen. I drive that every day and I see it. So, and I don't live in Harbor Heights. That's it.
Bob?
No, I think we've covered between you and I.
Darcy? Good. Charity?
My biggest concern was the school buses with kids, because I know that a 40-foot bus can't turn around in that cul-de-sac. And so it would be forced to be, you know, if you have a 5-year-old, 6-year-old for kindergarten standing out on, even though it's a little bit farther than I thought it was, 200 feet, I thought it was less than 200. So that's my only concern, is it safe for kids with snowbanks and everything else on that road? Because there's really, I don't know what the shoulders are there, but.
Yeah, it really does meet the DOT design criteria.
Okay.
Okay, with that being said, can I get a motion to introduce local law F2025, the zone change from R40 to the planned unit development, and schedule a public hearing for December 17th at 7 p.m.
I'll make the motion.
Did I make that right? Okay, who do I have it? Oh, right, Roger and Mike, okay. So long ago. Sorry. Motions on the floor from Roger, seconded by Mike. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Any opposed? Roll call. Oh, yep, sorry.
Mrs. Gusky?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Hand?
Yes.
Mr. Grover?
Yes.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Wozniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Orn?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Motion passes so December 17th.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Al. All right, thanks for holding on with us while we went through that. So I will go back to what is number 5. Can I get a motion to authorize buildings and grounds to order a new mower from All Weather Power in the amount of $16,497 to be paid from Buildings and Grounds Capital Reserve Fund, subject to permissive referendum.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Roger. I'll just say that we have built up our capital reserve funds in our budget specifically for this department, so we are able to pay cash for this. This is one of the things that I think is really important, that this board tries to supplement our reserve, so when we need equipment or vehicles purchased, we have it on hand. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, can I get a motion to accept the RFPs and award the contract to Grossman St. Moore for Town Hall audit for the specific time period of January 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. We reached out to, I think, 5 different CPAs for this audit, and Grossman St. Amour was the only one who responded with a little nudge from Jenny. So thank you, Jenny, for reaching out and having that relationship so we could get some feedback and have this work done that's needed. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Can I get a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the agreement with Grossman St. Moore for auditing services not to exceed $18,000.
I'll move that.
Second it.
Motion by Jenny, seconded by Charity. These funds have been budgeted, so we've accommodated for that in our budget for this work to be done. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we are through our agenda, moving on to council committee reports and comments. Mike, anything?
Nothing.
Roger?
Nothing.
Jen?
I have a Canton Woods board meeting tomorrow morning at 7:45, and I'll report updates to the board after the meeting.
That's an early one. Anything else, Jen? Bob?
We'd just like to remind the public to go to our website and jump on and for the interactive tool at our comprehensive land use committee. I understand we're going to be probably doing, I think, 2 meetings in January, so we're going to use the rest of December to get as many people in the public to do that interactive tool.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
All right, Darcy?
I'm pretty sure this is going to be my last meeting for the foreseeable future. So I just want to thank everyone I've served with for the past 12 years.
She's gonna start crying, you gotta do it.
All the staff here are fantastic. All the board members over the years, I have learned so much, and I really did enjoy serving the community. So that's all.
There's a round of applause for her.
I'm a crier.
Charity?
Nothing for me.
Okay, supervisor comments, I just have a couple. I got the monthly report from our codes office for fire safety inspections. They've completed to date 127 inspections, and they have 31 left for the month. For the month of November, they issued 18 building permits. Fees collected was $22,666 for a total project value of $2,664,000. For the month of November, they closed out 11 building permits, so that's great. And that is it from the codes. They are doing a great job over there, so a big thank you to the codes department. All of our staff who drive town vehicles, whether it's highway, buildings and grounds, park, or even town hall, have completed their 6-hour defensive driving course. So that will be a reduction in our insurance. So thank you to the staff for taking that 6 hours to do that. It's important as reminders, and I think it's important for the town to have our folks go through that just so they know when to stop and when not to. And I heard today from New York State DASNY regarding a grant that we applied for. I want to say in 2023 that it was approved. The $60,000 wiring for Town Hall and Park was approved today. I connected with Buildings and Grounds crew leader that it was approved, and we can start that work immediately. So I'll reach out to the vendor, and we will have new internet wiring here and at the park on the dime of New York State. So thank you for that. And with that, I'm all set. Highway Superintendent.
Hi.
Hi.
The no parking from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. till April 15th. Just appreciate more people be aware of that. We've had a lot of people staying longer than they should. This past week or two, we've had some nasty weather. Our guys are doing an amazing job with clearing the roads. A little tough with cars in the way, so just please do us a favor and have your cars off the road between those hours so we can keep the roads safe. For the highway department, we'll be picking up Christmas trees starting first of the year, and usually pending weather, it'll be through the month of January, possibly into February, but it all depends on the weather again. So you really don't have to call, just leave your tree out near the road and we will get it at some point. So you really don't have to call or keep your tree up near the house, we'll come and get it. So just leave it down near the road and we'll take care of it for you.
Yes, thank you for all of your hard work over the last week. I thought it was still fall, but apparently Mother Nature thinks it's winter. Yeah. And just a reminder to the residents, when the weather is bad, I just caution you to stay off the roads. It will impede highway from plowing the roads and doing what they need to do when there's a lot of traffic out there. So if it's bad, it's best just to stay home and be safe and not let the guys go out and do what they need to do in clearing the roads and making it
Got
clear.
a great crew. They're doing amazing.
Yeah. And thank you for that. And please extend a thank you to your team too.
Yes.
Engineer.
I have no comments tonight. Unless the
Okay.
board has questions for me.
Town attorney.
The only thing I'll ask is, did Nadine give everyone an update on the electric heat pump, no gas law from New York State that was set to take effect at the end of
So we know that it's been paused.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure everybody
Okay.
was aware of that.
Yes.
So, good news there.
Thank you.
That's good news.
And thank you for coming tonight.
Always happy to be here.
Okay. With that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn our regular meeting to December 17th at 7 PM?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
I need to call an executive session, very quick, to discuss a personnel issue. No action will be taken. I do not need town attorney. I do not need town clerk. So can I get a motion to adjourn regular meeting and go into executive session for a personnel meeting with no intent for action?
I'll make that motion.
No second.
Okay, motion made by Bob, seconded by Jenny. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes and we are adjourned.
very much.
Thank you everyone for coming out.